Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. As today, it turns out we did have one new item we could afford after our latest round of trades. The X470 Ultimo Array, which is a significant upgrade over what we've currently got equipped. That's an extra 15% crit chance. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get that equipped. And then, of course, we have no use for the now totally outclassed and outdated model. So I'll go ahead and toss that in with our cargo. Obviously not worth much, but, you know, every little bit counts. And thusly upgraded, we now set the RetconRaider towards Ships Unknown. As soon as you draw close to the unknown ship, it points its loaded cannons directly at you. Several other ships emerge from the shadows of drifting asteroids, tightly encircling you. Captain Xantha Labouche offers a mocking greeting and proposition. You can buy your way out of this, but the price must be to her soul's satisfaction. The outrageous suggestion sends your crew into a fury. You're in a no-win situation. You can enter an uneven fight and lose everything, or shamefully pay to save your skin, sacrificing only your pride. No, I'm pretty sure we'll win. Leave the remains strewn across the stars. All right, let's see what we got. 2 Falchion-class frigates within immediate striking distance, backed up by 2 Cobra-class destroyers. Yeah, nothing to worry about. Especially not with the Sword 3 watching our flank. Let's start with this one. Nice, already panicking. And, you know, we could immediately shift to the destroyer, but let's see if we can finish off the Falchion first. Oh, yeah.
No mercy for the enemies of humanity.
Indeed. Oh, wow. Yeah, Captain Labouche may have bitten off a bit much here. That's their entire right flank, gone. Let's see how the Sword 3 fares. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. Heavy damage, but you survived. Which means now we can swoop in and finish them off.
Smite the enemies of humanity.
Frigate's starboard shields down. Hard to port. Double lance should do it. Twist the torps. Frigate 2, panicking. But only briefly. Alright, Cobra, what you got? Hey, you actually very gently scratched my hull. And then you exploded. Seems like a fair trade to me. Nicely done, Sword 3. Nice, nice, nice. That's 4 stacks of pirate trophies. I'll cash those in a bit later. We have no other space battles looming, so no need to rush. But we will, however, upgrade our hull. Off to a promising start. Let's go ruin it. And yeah, again, I'm fairly certain I know what this is, but... Oh, nope, scratch that. I immediately recognize this. Craven Ruins. I had to look these guys up after the Alpha episode. That's why I so distinctly remember it. I had never heard of the Crave before. So this is like the singular memory I have attached to that entire Xenos race.
I offer up my thanks to thee, O Messiah, for granting me the ability to serve you as a predator whose prey is knowledge.
Predators? You can hear the growling too. A sound so vile it makes your teeth clench, makes you want to kill. No? Just me. That's not good.
Nah, I'm sure it's fine. The ruins vaguely resemble the architecture of the Imperium, and yet there is some subtle difference to these structures. Demolitions, right? Let's check our side path before we take the bolder approach. The remains of unknown structures are haphazardly strewn about the plateau. Oh. Oh, right, yeah, the Xeno chest. Cracked Xeno chest. The small chest made from a strange material has no keyhole or any other openings. The murky crystal on the lid is cracked, but continues to glow inscrutably. Yeah. I do remember this from Alpha as well. I don't think we ever found a key. We just ended up carrying it around until the end of Alpha. There's our alternate entrance, which we will, of course, make use of, if just to bank some easy XP. And there's our unusual cravings. This would be our puzzle. Very basic from what I recall. A single look at this strange pattern is enough to send your mind reeling. Is it? I mean, I guess.
This is intriguing.
Indeed. This human skeleton is curled up in an unnatural position. It is inside a void suit, with a hole burned right through it. Someone has carved a strange pattern on the floor. As you look at the lines, a fog descends over your mind. cracked Vox. A furious male voice is coming from the old Vox.
This is Captain Trevor Durhoth calling the bullion. Get your arses back to the surface and get me out of here, you shits. My guts may have fused to my suit, but I'm not dead yet, no matter how much you wish it were otherwise.
A moment later, the raging tone gives way to strangled rasping.
Hey, can any of you hear me? Respond. I'll pay double. Just don't leave me here. Damn it, it was going so well. We even figured out how to open the first sphere thanks to the pattern on the floor. Yeah. Who knew there'd be so much trouble with the second one? I didn't. They didn't either. Cowards. The moment that beam was directed back, I was already lying with my guts turned inside out, and they were running off with my goods. Oh, Emperor, you whore son. Why'd you leave me like that? I'm scared. Oh, yes. No, I don't want to die. Not alone. Aren't you supposed to watch over all your children? Quiet, you lot. Shut it already. I can't even hear myself.
The recording is silent for a few moments. All you can hear is the sound of someone pounding the shell of a void suit with the recording device.
I'm cold. I wonder if I'll die from lack of oxygen, or will my organs give out earlier? The damned God. The damned Imperium. In the end, you will all serve the true masters.
The human speech gradually deteriorates into an indecipherable mixture of howling and clicking sounds. Yeah, that's probably fine. Sorry, bud. No guts, no glory.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Right, so let's get our beam generator going. The beacon Psi-Tech belongs to the ancient Xenos called Khravings. Monstrosities who enhance their mental control over entire planets with the use of such devices. Continuing to play around with this Xeno-heresy without thinking is unwise, Lord Captain. Oh, relax, Abby. We're fine. I've got this. Adira, could you please stitch us back together real quick? Individually stitch us, that is, not together. I feel like I shouldn't have to clarify that, but, you know, just in case. Especially after what we saw in the Black Ship. Okie dokie. Now, as I recall... Oh, hello. Veherd didn't obey the Masters, and the Masters ate Veherd. I will obey. Anyway, yes, as I recall, it is, the puzzle is exceedingly straightforward. All we have to do is emulate the symbols on the ground. And then once we have it complete, we beam the last reflection into the maw, which should reveal our prizes. Though he did say they already did one of them. Presumably the one that wasn't covered by debris. But, you know, we'll go ahead and do it anyway, just in case. Might as well be thorough. It seems the pattern no longer works. Yep, fair enough. Had to try. We'll do the star instead. See, that was the late captain's problem. He acted tough, but he was really craven and gutless. Whereas we are clearly beaming with pride. And there we go. Let's collect our prize. Look! In the jaws! Yep. Thanks, Cass. I noticed. Honestly, kind of hard to miss. Which nets us an ancient force sword. Sadly, not all that useful for our current crew, but we'll toss it to Heinrichs. Might as well toss the poor guy a bone.
Is there money to be made?
Oh, interesting. And that removed our cracked Xeno chest. Okay. Huh. I guess implying that the sword was inside the chest and we opened it with the beam? That is not what I was expecting. Honestly, kind of disappointing. I was really expecting that to be its own separate side thing. But on the bright side, at least it's resolved. Which is certainly preferable to being an eternal loose end. Okay, let's head back to Dargonis. I think we're pretty much done out here. At least on this side of the star map. We'll two-hop Mundus Nullius to Mundus Valancius. 2 potential events. Let's see what we got. The warp jump was a success, but the Voxmaster reported the following incident. Beautiful, blossoming vines had covered the deck and bulkheads in loading bay 6. 2 workers had bent down to take a better look at the flowers, and the vines had devoured their faces before strangling them. The bay was then sealed and purged. Yeah, I don't really need the florid details. And home stretch. Emergency! Servitors assigned to the storage base have gone berserk and are attacking voidsmen. Survivors are claiming to have seen some pernicious warp beast possessing one of the automatons. It must be expelled, one way or another. Yes, absolutely. We are super close to going up a level, so we will definitely do this. I'll never pass up on unscheduled loot and XP, though I will start glossing over the encounters once they start repeating. But this one appears to be new. And thus, it shall be explored. Though we do recognize this map. We've seen this one a few times now. Oh, shit. Well. You know, I really expected you guys to be set up a little deeper in, but fair enough. Really doesn't change my approach here. If anything, this actually makes it easier. Lots of servo skulls, lots of servitors, but overall weaker, I think, than the ones we faced last time round. With the mad Magos. No need to get fancy here. Warriors up front, snipers in back. That actually reminds me, that is one thing I have to put thought towards now, is if we are headed for Kiava Gamma, I have to get Heinrichs leveled up, respect and re-equipped. And I'm not sure where to go with him just yet. My initial thought was agility-based, dual-wielding assassin, but now that we have that psychic breastplate, I'm actually thinking maybe something a bit more akin to Abby, but psychic. That would also allow for a quick dragon drop, you know. Temporarily remove Abby so we can swap in Heinrichs.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Alright, so this time, let's make sure we cluster them up before we activate Abby. Nice. One out. Come at me, you mechanical misanthropes! Lay down zones.
If I may.
And yeah, I'm currently at full Veil. So, limited power usage. And again, I guess I really should get Argenta set up too. And you know, in retrospect, I may just go ahead and go for what I was originally aiming for there, which is a full AoE build. Shotgun, flamer, and grenades. Not the most effective, but definitely fun. Ow. All right, let's burn down some servo skulls. Is what I was going to do, but we have very limited line of sight here. But yeah. Sniper's primary job this time out is culling support. Nice. And slightly less nice, but we'll take it. Here comes the repair swarm. Though, on the bright side, that will cluster them up. You know what? Yeah, let's give them a moment to group up. We'll trim the sides.
I'll see to it personally. You should have thought twice before crossing me.
Less effective than I would have liked. But it's fine. We're in no real danger here. Interesting. All right, Abby, you're up. Nail him down.
I will do my duty.
Nice. 2 out.
At your beck and call.
And now these guys.
Advancing.
Lovely. One servo skull left. We'll tag him with an extra turn. Hopefully he can finish off the big bad. Though again, group them up first. Nice, nice, nice. And Pask. Though we also have momentum, so let's get Abby in on this too. And now Pask. Fantastic. Also, they're exploding, but apparently it doesn't matter because our guys are just shrugging it off. Definitely seeing better numbers from Earlyette recently. I'll assume we have the patch to thank for that. Oh, we still have a servo skull. Huh.
I'll make it happen.
Well, we'd cleared them.
On it. Consider this a taste of what's to come.
Oh, for goodness sake. That's fine. Fairly certain we just stunned it. Though that does remind me, now that we do have that stun effect on his single target attacks, we do have to be extra careful about friendly fire. Speaking of which, slight friendly on Pask there, but not enough to get through his temps.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
I'll make it happen.
No, I got XCOM'd.
You never stood a chance.
Oh, right. Forgot I had that there. Chekhov's trap. There we go.
This tedium is beneath me.
And we're good. With a level up under our belt. Fantastic. Also, loot. Okay. You know, nothing to write home about, but I'll take it. That's half a stack of armor. So, 70, 75 rep. Let me just do a quick sweep here, make sure we're not missing anything else. And then we'll pause it real quick whilst I double check what we're doing with these level ups. I think it's abilities this level. More grenades, we'll take those. Okay, one sec, whilst I get a gander at these level ups. Be right back. And we're back. And this is not the level we get our new abilities, but it is another very straightforward one. Because this level, everyone gets one characteristic and one skill boost. Abilities are next level. And given that pretty much our whole crew is locked in at this point, this is all pretty straightforward. That's Perception for Valen, plus further mastery of all things Xenos. Then we've got Cassie, and she is a bit of a weird one. First, we'll take Perception, no question there. But for skills, she actually technically has a broader array than anyone else. However, given that Coercion is the one she's lagging the farthest behind in, that's the one we'll put her rank in. Then Yurliette. We recently respec'd her, so she is now Awareness and Demolitions. I feel like she's okay on Demolitions for the moment, so we'll go ahead and shore up Awareness this time out. The expertise on Demolitions really buys her some extra wiggle room there. And then Perception, of course. Followed by Abby, who has capped out Athletics, so we'll switch him off to his secondary, Carouse. Not that it's really come up all that much. And then we'll bump Toughness. Which brings us to Pascal, and zero question here. We'll continue ramping up his weapon skill, though I will say there was some temptation to start building his ballistics. But there's also a talent he can pick up that adds a fraction of his weapon skill to his ballistic skill. So we'll wait until we've taken that before we start mucking with spreading out our points. And then, obviously, Medicaid. That's his secondary. And finally, Adira, who will also pick up Perception because she's capped all of her other more important stats. And she's capped Warp Lore, so I guess we'll take a bump in Awareness. She's awful at pretty much everything else, so might as well just keep her secondary in Awareness. I will say, though, I do find it weird that they kind of led the campaign in Act 1 with her making Awareness checks for premonitions, only for it to then never really come up again, post-Footfall. It does feel like kind of a mechanic they dabbled with to start, but then just sort of forgot. Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso has arrived on the planet for a brief visit. A great many itinerant pilgrim have come with him, in hopes of finding a new home. Ugh, this guy. Though we could use more people. And I'm guessing we can't choose that option because we're not high enough in rep. That's fair. Oh, interesting. Okay, so basically all of these are good. But we also have the option of trading 2 Promethium for 2 extra people. Which we could use, but then again, tonally, I'm not sure I really see Valen burning those who are simply weak of faith. Yeah. I think we'll just go with the normal one. I mean, if it specifically mentioned we were only burning heretics or criminals or unrepentant blasphemers, then I could see going with option 2. But I do feel like they're casting too broad a net here. Also, we'd be doing it for Hieronymus Doloroso, and that guy's weird. Many of the pilgrims, weary from the years of wandering, decided to settle in the rogue traders' colony. Reverend Hieronymus departed for another world, taking the rest of the faithful with him, in search of a planet that could become their home. Oh, wow, and I guess that's it. Okay. That was less a crisis and more of an unexpected windfall. I hope our security rating hasn't been blocking things like that from happening. Alright, yeah, let's dip into the Administratum. I don't think we'll have time for the whole thing, but we can at least scope things out. And yeah, I don't think we'll need warp lore on this one. Not unless things have gone very awry. Okay, so is this the same? Yes, okay. This is the same spot we came into before, so we just need to hop over here and speak with the Master of Seals. Ah, Valen von Valancius, you have returned. I hope the sacred document I entrusted to you last time has now successfully passed through the approval procedure? That it has. Signed, sealed, delivered. The ocular lenses on the old woman's nose emit a subtle hum as she adjusts the magnification. Yes, oh yes, indeed. It is perfect. The seals are authentic, so we may continue with the certification procedure. Follow me, please. Oh, I'm not sure I like where this is going. This is your queue, and your ticket number is... The old woman's ocular lenses hum as she zooms in on the paper in her hand. 394. When it is your turn to be seen, the ranking prefect will review your documentation again and sign the official certification for Jai Haydari to possess a Mercatum Tabula Officiale. You will have a bit of a wait, but it will be worth it in the end. Yes? You'll have to forgive me. I had approximately 78% of my sense of humor surgically removed by Inquisitors. Is this a joke? You do realize I'm the rogue trader, right? The Master of Seals peers at you over her ocular lenses. Hardly. In accordance with Decree DA-58, Clause 201, citizens of the capital world of the Von Valancius Protectorate must submit their petitions at one of the assigned windows of the waiting hall. The decree makes no mention of the rogue trader being exempt from this rule. Fair enough. If wait I must, then wait I shall. Then I bid you good day. May the law and the Emperor keep you. Yeah, you too. So really? This is our adventure? This is our companion quest? Look at them, all dressed up in their finery. Important folk, I suppose. But in this throne for blessed place, all are equal. Huh. Are my eyes and mind failing me? Or did the rogue trader's shoulder just brush against me? I mean, I'm clearly like 7 feet from you, but... Sure. Well, you know, this isn't what I was expecting, but it is interesting. And to be fair, I suppose you can't go around causing the kind of carnage we do without incurring a considerable amount of paperwork. Task list for current work turn. 1. Compose an order for the servitorization of 90% of the population of Asteroid Mining Station BMK-498 for the purposes of increasing productivity. 2. Prepare a set of documents for the reclassification of the world Viabos 6 as a penal colony under the orders of Her Ladyship, Theodora von Valancius. 3. Task the newly appointed adepts of the Administratum with conducting a review of all unresolved petitions in the last 5,999 cycles. 4. Make a big mug of recaf. You know what, you might want to start with that one. I feel like you are falling ever so slightly behind. I suppose the obtuse bureaucracy is also just kind of part and parcel of the dystopian Warhammer 40k universe. You really can't have one without the other. It's all an over-the-top exaggeration. Addendum number 32-4 to Addendum number 874-BA7 to document NXC 402682. To regiments of the Astra Militarum sent to the frozen world of Xenagar II, required supplies of warm clothing, footwear, and snowshoes for a successful combat maneuver with a further offensive against the enemies of humanity and the Emperor. Due to a gross error by a low-ranking adept of the Adeptus Administratum, instead of the aforementioned supplies, soldiers received 800 cryobanks, resulting in the death by freezing of the majority of troops before the commencement of the mission of retribution. For the purposes of improving efficiency, the adept responsible was subjected to servitude in perpetuis, as a result of which he is now discharging his duties flawlessly. Oof. You know, normally I'm against servitorization, but I've got to say, that guy really probably had it coming. Either that or death by 1,000 paper cuts. Menace. There's a quiet menace in the air, and I don't know quite what to make of it.
I sense something nearby.
But I will take that. Nice, okay. Anything else? Bundles of wires have been ripped out of the servitor's neck, and a yellow fluid is seeping from its damaged joints. How angry would a person have to be to do this? Oh, missed something. But it looks like that's pretty much it. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's an almost full stack of holy gifts. That's not bad at all. I have actually been told that based on the amount of renewable consumables we've been banking, it is actually reasonable for me to potentially max out most, if not all, of the factions. So I may start dabbling with that moving forward. That said, we are obviously going to have to call it here. You know, I came into this suspecting we might not have enough time to get the whole thing done, but I was not expecting these sorts of weighty issues. And, you know, that aside, I suppose I should really go ahead and level up Jai before we get too much farther into it anyway. She's like 10 or 12 levels behind the curve at the moment, I think. So, yeah, we'll hit the pause button for now. I will get that taken care of off screen. And we'll pick up here next time, as we see what else they've got lined up for us. I mean, obviously, they've thrown some pretty significant bureaucratic boondoggles in our way, but we'll see what we can do to counter. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Eerie V23, Revenant, Alois, Croaking LOR, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.
No? Just me. That's not good.